I don't know how Disney does it. Make this amazing animation with so much powerful storytelling that captures the heart. Hey everyone, welcome back to Watch with Kuda. I love Disney, you love Disney, we all love Disney. So is the final animation movie to be released in 2020, and I have to say this. So is a brilliant animation, might be the best animation of 2020. Who knows? Directed by Pete Docty, who is an Oscar winning director of the most of my favorite Disney Pixar animated movies, such as Monster Inc., Up, Inside Out. All of these movies capture the heart, and so is not so different. And I would definitely add it to the list. So the story about Soul is about Joe Gardner, who is a grown man with a job, New York City apartment, and he teaches music to these kids at a school. But you can tell that Joe is not fond with his job. Then one day, an old student calls him to sit in a session with Dorothea Williams, the legendary jazz musician. So Joe rushes over to the club, gets a chance to perform. Even Dorothea was skeptical since he was a teacher, but when Joe touches the piano, it's like life has just begun for him. He gets the gig, Joe is happy, and he finally got an opportunity. Then, boom, he falls into a manhole and he dies. Just like that. And the next thing is on his way to the great beyond. That just sucks, man. It really sucks. You get this opportunity after a long time of waiting, and then you just die out of the blue. You just die all of a sudden. Man, that is being a pain. So the story continues. Joe was not ready to die. He meets this so-called number 22 who wants to be born just as much as Joe wants to be dead. That is it. Let me start by saying this. I have to give props to the Disney animators, modelers, lighting department. The animation is brilliant, it's beautiful, it's breathtaking. Disney upped their game on this animation because the lighting of the animation, it's now the best for me in terms of Disney Pixar, from the characters, Joe, the souls, the city of New York, all the side characters, the barbershop. Let me talk about the barbershop. That scene is amazing. The streets, the trees, the cars, the building, the sky, all of it, it's stunning and beautiful. It has this vibe that works so good that makes everything blend well. Definitely the best animation with best visual this year. I have to give them props. Disney really outdone themselves. So also provides some positive elements to look at. For example, when one dies, even in death, you can still have a great impact to people. This is seen when Joe was dead. One of her students wants to quit playing her instrument, but he hopes that Joe talks him out of it. But it wasn't really Joe who talks him out. It was number 22 in the body of Joe. You see that when you watch the movie. It also teaches on spiritual elements as well. This can be seen by the title Soul itself. I give it props to the director for avoiding, spiritual religions. They can just call it the great beyond. They don't talk about God because the world is full of different religion, and it could be messy, talking about religion. Then, people get offended when their religion is not portrayed the same way as, they know it. So I give them props for not touching that. Again, I want to talk about another positive element. which is the black culture. Me as a black kid, I love seeing what they did, representing the black culture, representing the jazz music. That was amazing. I'm happy they did their research on that. I'm happy, Joe is being portrayed by Jamie Foxx, who does it brilliantly, portraying Joe. I think Joe, in terms of character development, I think Joe is the most representative one. As for number 22, I think he was just thrown in there for the kids. I think Tina Fey is the one that portrays number 22. I think that character was just thrown in there to maybe make kids watch, but it doesn't really do much. All the attention is on Joe. His life, his living, his problems, all of it that was portrayed in there is amazing. And Jamie Foxx voice acting on that character is brilliant. I love it. I love it a lot. And again, we see that the souls, they go to Earth. The first find what they like, but we have 22, who was paired with a lot of tutors to help the poor soul find something. I don't know if he was a he or a she, but since it was voiced by a she, we can just call it a she, can relate to. There is even I saw accountant who goes through, whom we can learn that the afterlife tribulation system isn't always spot on with how Joe kind of escapes the great beyond and tries to go back to Earth. There is even a spiritual plane, like a zone where people go when they are particularly inspired or transfigured by what they are doing. Another is a vast wasteland where if you get obsessed, you end up, roaming that endless plane like a creature. I thought they was gonna do something. I kind of saw it coming, getting it predictable that 22 might, get affected and become like those wandering souls in the plane. I kind of saw it coming. It was kind of predictable. But personally, I kind of wonder as well, whatever happens in real life, our time, where we all have something that we enjoy. It can be music, drawing, dancing. We end up going into that zone, not this zone from but our own kind of zone where you end up getting into your own world, your own mind, as you enjoy, your gifts. Where it's like even when someone tries to call you, they can't hear you because you are in that zone. You are in that special place of yourself. So so also trying to represent that. That was really, really cool. I love it a lot. That was amazing. So it is different from the rest of the Pixar animated movies. This one, I don't think it was made for kids, rather made for mature audience. Even though they throw in little souls that we see that like number 22 just for the kids, but overall at the end it's still for mature audience. I don't think some kids can still understand the depth that is in this beautiful animation. It does not hit the home run like other Disney animated Pixars, as I said, Monster Inc. or Up, where they kind of play with death, but that death touches your heart. On this one, my emotions, I wasn't really emotionally invested in this one because maybe it's because I didn't like the ending. Where spoilers, if you haven't watched it, spoilers, but Joe dies and he's given a second chance to live again. I feel like they kind of messed that up for me personally. way bringing Joe back to life, giving him a second chance. It kind of ruined everything for me. I wanted him to die so that when he dies and then 22 goes to Earth, it kind of has that emotional feeling good. So Joe really does die, and it's but giving him a second chance, you know, didn't really hit me that much. I would have preferred him seeing go to the great beyond and then end credit scene. Then maybe we see a kid on Earth who is number 22. We don't see the face of the child, but we see it's number 22 now enjoying life. Maybe that's how I would have ended it. I'm rambling too much, I know, but yeah, I think I could have ended it in that way. But overall, it's still a great animation. What makes so great is that it shows how important life is, how it is a blessing even if it doesn't go your way. We have troubles in real life, paying bills, but we always have to be thankful for the life we have, especially the current times we're living here in 2020. Not everyone, a lot of people have lost their loved ones, and it kind of makes you appreciate how life is important. I think so actually came on this year on a good time. I'm happy Disney really, put it on Disney Plus, and people watch this. If you are thinking like me, this is the perfect movie for 2020. This is the best animation for 2020 with what we are facing right now. We have to appreciate life. We have to appreciate the gift of life again. So, have you seen So? If you did, what are your thoughts? Drop them in the comment section below, and do not forget to subscribe. I will see you on the next video.